He's in a league of his own. He's in his own category.
It's unfair. It's unfair for the rest of the world, the rest of the league. It's unfair for the rest of the world. It's unfair to these little kids who think that they can be like Steph, like Mike, and now they want. No, I'm sorry. I'll break their little hearts. You will not be like Steph. You will not be like Steph. I'm sure somebody will one day. What up, what up, what up? Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Think RBA podcast. I'm your boy Ken, with me, my main man Hak. As always, we are thinking RBA, real ballers adjust, sir.
Oh man, my guy, my brother.
Been a busy week.
Bro, it's been a busy week. But an even better weekend.
Well, it was a good weekend. It was a good week for some people too, but we're going to get to that a little later.
Sir.
Let's just start off with, we decided recently, as we come into the new year, to make some changes to our schedule, and we decided we usually record on Sunday nights.
Yep.
We decided to shift it to Saturday nights. Well, here is one time now where that shift has hurt us.
Yes.
Because we are going to miss the official brackets coming out for the NCAA tournament upcoming. I think the Duke game is on right now as we're recording. We're not watching it, but we will check out to see where everything lands in the end, if they win the tournament or not. But saying all that to say, we can't do an episode around picking our bracket or anything. We should do a bracket.
Sure.
Do a bracket,
Absolutely.
post it on IG or something.
Absolutely.
Let people vote on whatever. But saying that, I went into ESPN's bracketology and I went to go look at, okay, who's the odds for the number one pick. Some of them are, I'm sure, locked up from today. But the bracketology had, for the pick'em, now projected number one picks. Auburn is the number one overall. Florida, Duke, and Houston. So just out of those four, and we know number one picks, first seeds don't always make it to championships.
Of course not.
But if you have to pick one team out of those four that will go all the way to the chip, who are you picking, sir?
For me, it came down to, which I think for many people, came down to one injury.
It's gonna see,
one injury.
It's so easy, bro.
However, that's not who I'm going to pick.
Oh, I thought you were going to take the easy route.
Of course I'm not.
The Cooper Flag route.
No, I'm not going to take the Cooper Flag route. Although it's unfortunate he got hurt. Hopefully he's able to bounce back and prove, take maybe in his first year, in his only year, may take them to, to the final. Either way, I am a huge fan of defense. I like offense, but I like defense. And a team that's very defensive minded is Houston.
The best offense is a good defense.
So Houston has a very good, always generally had a good defensive minded team. I'm going to go with Houston. Yeah, wow. That's what I'm going with.
Wow.
So, sir.
Wow. I'm legit shocked, but I'm also like, I shouldn't be shocked because we do this podcast together, right? And we should be Stephen A and Skip fighting each other, but we're like brothers that were born to different mothers on different continents in different parts of the world.
Yeah, I know, it's crazy.
Because I like Cooper Flag the player, but I'm like, man, there's just something about Houston.
Oh, you like? Oh, look at that.
There's just something about Houston.
Look at that.
Good coaching. They were tough. Though I know last year I remember for sure. I don't remember about the year before. They were tough. Then I remember, did we watch the Houston game together last year? I remember it. Yeah. So just something. And obviously it's a different team this year, but that goes to the coaching, to the recruiting and everything else. So I was going to pick Houston too.
Oh, look at that. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. There's something about them.
Just there's just something there.
Yeah.
So
I like them.
And I feel like they're overlooked.
Correct.
I could be wrong because I'm not. Let's just be clear. I'm not a hardcore.
Same.
I haven't been watching every game, but I still read about sports and stuff. I still follow the sports one. It's just you don't hear about them a lot. You hear a lot about everybody else. And I feel like Auburn's somewhat the same way too. But I'm just not there. So I'm going with Houston.
Okay.
I'm going with Houston. So okay. Well, I guess we'll have to see. We'll put up a bracket and we'll see who gets the most right, closest, best percentage.
Well, you and I
all
of
the
score.
above. Stats. See who has the better stats.
You know what's crazy? I saw a graphic about Cooper Flag. in his performance and metrics on Duke. Number 1 on the team in scoring. Number 1 on the team in rebounds, assists, blocks, and steals. Number 1.
So he's number 1 on the team.
Correct.
Period.
In every category, though.
Period.
Which is crazy. That's impressive.
It's very impressive.
But as a first freshman, yes.
Well, he is a monster.
Yes.
Now watch Duke go through and just mollywop everybody.
We shall see. Hopefully
see.
they don't get injured, right? That's the other thing in this tournament. You want everyone to be full strength.
Yep.
So hopefully that remains.
All right, sir. So let's go from college ball to NBA ball.
Okay.
This is that somewhat quiet period of the year, right? After All-Star, before the playoffs.
Yeah.
Generally not a whole lot. Teams just kind of gearing up, getting ready to go.
Right now it's about the MVP discussion. That's kind of how they start.
It is, but that's not where we're going today.
Okay.
So I'm going to introduce to you something new called fair or unfair.
Okay.
So we're going to do fair or unfair. OKC is being investigated by the league for sitting all 5 of their starters. The violation is of the player participation policy, i.e. your old favorite load management. OKC is being investigated by the league for sitting all 5 starters in a game. Is that fair or unfair? Just on its surface.
Fair for who? Unfair for who?
You tell me.
So I think it's very, very, very unfair for the fans who buy tickets, the kids who come to watch these players play. The reason they come to watch the Oklahoma City Thunder play basketball, right? Their bread and butter. It's very unfair to the fans. For the organization, those are your players, those are your employees. You can choose to play them however you do or do not like them, right? It is up to you how you manage your personnel. So it is unfair to them in that sense. The NBA is a business. You cater to the audience.
Okay.
So it is unfair to the fans. So I'll say at the end of the day, the game is played for the people that pay your bills, your fans.
Okay.
So I am not a fan of, if I was a player and you told me I'm perfectly fine, I'm good, that I have to sit for no reason whatsoever except that you're trying to.
I love this. Keep going.
Right. I'm sorry. No, we're not doing that.
Okay.
Right. I would be perturbed and at the ludicrous gesture that you even thought that I would be okay with something like this. Like, it would just really irritate me, right? And I would be upset for the fans as a player. And I want to play. I'm a hooper.
Okay.
So why should I say DNP on my stat line when I'm perfectly well enough to play?
Okay.
Right. So
it's unfair to the fans.
It's extremely unfair.
Unfair
to
the player.
Unfair to the players, right?
So let
me
add a wrinkle.
Sure.
For Shea, it's the only second game he's missed this year.
Okay, but is the first game because of injury or?
I mean, just again, it's only the second game of the year he's missed.
He's a hooper,
right? So is it okay that he got a day off?
No, if he didn't want a day off, it's up to him.
I'm assuming let's just assume he did. Fair or unfair?
If he wanted a day off, then that's a separate matter, right? That's up to the player.
So fair?
Sure, for him.
But because it was only 2 games.
Not because of that, because he wanted a day off.
But
if the management told me I'm gonna forcefully give you a day off, no.
Well, so we don't know the ins and outs of that. Right. That's a big assumption. Sure. But I'm just saying, let's just assume everybody's on the same page, and we're not going to.
That's an assumption.
It's an assumption, but it's a better assumption than somebody being like, "You're going to sit no matter what." I don't know that. I mean,
Zion said it in an interview. I mean,
all right. See, we gonna weave this. You gonna weave this. You're doing too much right now. It's only the second game he sat, so let's just assume that everybody's on board.
I think it's a prideful thing. Like,
is that fair for him to get that time off?
If he wanted it, yes. If he did not want it, no.
Okay.
I take it as a badge of honor that at the end of the year it says he played 80 plus games. That means I'm durable and I perform and I produce.
Well, he can still do that.
Correct, but if he didn't want it, then no. If he wanted it, yes.
Okay. So unfair to the fans.
Yep.
Unfair to the players if they didn't want it. Fair to the players if they did want it.
Sure.
What if he had missed 20 games and he
But then you're out of the MVP discussion, right?
What if he missed 10 games?
Again, it depends on your production.
I'm just giving you layers to this.
Yeah, it's production, right?
So unfair completely.
If you are the leader of your team,
so that was just
by
one.
example.
So that's just one guy.
Sure.
But completely unfair and out of bounds that they sat their entire starters.
Yeah, that's crazy. So I'm assuming Coach Pop's a contractor who helps give them these ideas because that's what he did with the Spurs and he started this whole epidemic of load management.
Okay. So that game that they played without their starters, without his top players, Oklahoma City beat the Blazers.
Oh, it's the Blazers.
107-89.
The Blazers.
Without their starting 5.
It's the Blazers.
So isn't it not a little bit fair that they sat them? Because if they had played their starters, that 107-89 might be like 157-59.
You are a professional in a professional league. You are hired to do a job at the professional level. And if you can't, then it's more problematic for the Blazers to go hire better personnel who don't embarrass you.
But bro, they sat their starting 5 and they still won
so
by
now,
almost 20.
Right. So now think about the Blazers. Like, you got some work to do.
Oh, no, I'm not talking about it from the Blazers side. I'm talking about it from the OKC side. Of course, yeah.
I mean, I don't care who you put in. That's what I expect.
Like low key, kind of like the shade. I kind of like the petty. Like, you know what? I'm so confident in either the fact that one, I don't care about this game or care about this win, that I'm not even going to risk putting my guys out there. But I still feel confident that not only will my guys win without my starting 5, but my bench into my 12th man that never plays or barely ever plays will still beat you by 20.
You know what I love about it? The one thing I actually do love about it is that the players who don't get majority playing time have an opportunity now to come and prove their worth and also get ready for the playoffs, because you never know who the X factor is going to be.
Right.
So I guess if from a strategic standpoint, sure. Again, you're playing the Wizards of the West.
The Wizards of the West.
Right.
Oh my God.
So, I mean...
Not the
cute,
Wizards
right?
of the West.
It's like, I don't know. You want to call them the Sierra Canyon of the...
Not the Sierra...
I don't know.
Bro.
The high school version of...
Bro.
Of the West.
You going... Look, he said it, not me.
I mean, listen.
Y'all can catch him in the comments, because it ain't...
What have the Blazers done since Dame left? Exactly.
What did they do when Dame was there?
Well, at least they made it to the playoffs here and there.
Like twice?
But again, I don't know. Have a higher standard.
How do you lose to guys 6 through 12 by 20? How do you lose by 20?
You know what that tells you? That the Thunder and their strategy of 28 picks or 80 picks that, what was it, Presti, who just hoarded picks year after year, clearly is doing something right.
Clearly. All right, let's go to fair or unfair part 2.
Oh boy. Okay.
All right.
NBA still?
NBA still.
Okay.
The San Antonio Spurs. Trying to get a little Texas accent in there.
You gonna get them bigums out?
No, I'm not gonna get the biggest out of that. Look, they're not ready. No, it's not even that. It's Clayton.
Oh, it's Clayton.
Bigsby.
Right? Bigsby.
They're not ready for that.
Got it.
The Spurs lose De'Aaron Fox for the year. Shortly after, not too long ago, losing Wemby for the year. I ask you, is this fair or unfair for the league?
This is unfair if you live in Texas, because it's a Texas curse.
Okay.
Dallas just went through it.
Ooh, yeah. I didn't even think about that.
And now I think it's traveling a little more south.
I don't know my Texas geography, so...
Oh, boy. So leave it to me to know.
Leave it to you to know.
So yes, I think that whatever that is traveling a little south now and hitting the Spurs, and it's unfortunate, right? Like, they just got him. This was supposed to be like that, the Fox and Wemby and CP3 and that new the dunk. What's his name? The guy who was in the dunk contest, the rookie.
Oh yeah. Or I forget his name now too.
Yeah, but
he was good.
But this team has a bright future. So again, I hope they bounce back. Hopefully his injury is not. I don't know what his injury is. You know what it is?
I forget now.
But I hope he comes back.
I'm sure he's gonna come back. I don't think.
I hope next year though, when Wemby actually comes back fully, hopefully they stay healthy and this team makes some noise. Now it's on CP3 to try to keep them afloat, and I don't see that happening for too long. Well, especially in the West.
Probably shut him down too.
Probably, because he's also has an injury bug throughout his career, especially in the playoffs.
So right now they're in the top 1, 2, 7, 8.
Okay.
Right, in terms of record, they actually have a worse record than the Wizards of the West.
Wow.
Yeah.
Here's what I'll say.
You know who the real Wizards of the West are? The Utah Jazz.
Oh yeah, that's a good
They only have one more win than the actual Wizards.
Ow.
So,
ouch.
But the reason why I asked if this was fair or unfair is I gotta be very delicate and careful with how I word this. So Wemby goes out, and then a few weeks later, De'Aaron Fox goes out. I wouldn't be surprised if a few other guys maybe get shut down for some lingering things, and we see some young guys start to step up, get a chance to play, develop, get 35 minutes a game, right? You're clearly not making the playoffs at this point, right? San Antonio has not only their first round pick, which is going to get them a lot of ping pong balls.
I see what you're going.
But they also have Atlanta's unprotected number 1. So, and I think they have more ammo beyond that, but that's just what they have for this year's draft. So I'm just saying there could
somebody coming in the draft real soon.
It could happen. We just talked about them.
Yeah, good.
Imagine a trio of Fox, Flag, and Wemby.
Oof.
Fox, Flag, and Wemby. Oh my God, that's just right there. FFW.
Wow.
Or WFF. I mean,
whatever
we
it
can,
is,
like whatever we want to,
whatever you want to call it, man. But that would be insane and exciting.
And I think Flag is one of those players that can come in and make
noise.
Immediate impact.
Yeah, he'll
make noise.
He make noise, and also I think he'd probably be the best blend in between those two, Fox and Wemby. He'd be that middle blend that would really like close the gap.
So I'm saying it's unfair for the rest of the league because they are now positioned to, if this happens, bro. They got Wemby.
Yeah.
The Hawks get the number 1 pick the next year afterwards, and there's no Wemby. It's like one of the worst, and we don't know how they're going to develop, but like on paper was one of the worst drafts in recent memory. All for San Antonio the next year to get the next big guy, the next big thing.
Hey, this is part of the script.
It's part of the script.
It's all part of the script.
Life of being a Hawks fan, man. Okay.
I mean, here's what I will say though. It's however you look at it, it's fair for Houston. This is your year now. As a the only Texas team to make some noise.
Who would have thought?
Right, they're doing well though.
Who would have thought? Everybody would have thought it would be Dallas. Greenby. But oh no, Houston's balling.
And that bro and the twins was it Osar, I think, Thompson.
But look, they get
if they get that
they got
trio,
the ammunition to make it happen.
Man.
Fair or unfair, part 3. Yeah, okay. And I already know what your answer is to this, but I just want to throw it in there anyway.
Okay.
So when Reggie Miller retired with the all-time 3-point record, nobody ever thought that 3,000 threes was even going to be attainable, right? Then came Ray Allen. Ray was like, hold my beer. And Ray hits 3. Or gets, not 3, I'm sorry. He got 29. Like right over I think it was Reggie at like 27 or something, whatever. And there's only one other player with 3. 3 got hit with Harden, but later. So of course, Steph breaks the record, hits 3. Feels like that wasn't that long ago. And here we are. We are now sitting on 4 racks. 4K. 3-pointers made in 4K. 4K in 4K. For Steph Curry. 4,000 3-pointers made. Fair or unfair?
How's that unfair?
He's almost 1,000. So Harden has gone up over 3. He's like 3,100. Steph is at 4,000.
Right.
He's 1,000.
He's in a league of his own. He's in his own category.
It's unfair. It's unfair for the rest of the world, the rest of the league. It's unfair for the rest of the world. It's unfair to these little kids who think that they can be like Steph, like Mike, and now they want. No, I'm sorry. I'll break their little hearts. You will not be like Steph. You will not be like Steph. I'm sure somebody will one day.
I'll say this. Just the way we all thought that the triple-double record would never be. And a guy came along and not broke it not once, not twice, but thrice.
So
right?
let me ask you
and that
this.
record held for a very long time.
It did.
And records are meant to be broken.
Okay. So 2 questions for you.
Sure.
1, where does he end?
It depends how long he wants to play.
But like, if you want to take a guess today, where do you think how many 3-pointers? Range. Give me a range.
45.
45?
Depends how he doesn't want to play that long, does he? I don't know how long he wants to play. I hope he hits 5.
Oh, he's going to hit 5.
But I think over 45-ish, like that range is going to get to. You think so?
How many can he hit a year?
I don't know. I didn't do the math on it.
See, now as we talk, I'm going to go look it up to see what his
not to say that he can't. It's just a matter of how long does he want to play. It's his choice. So that's really what it comes down to.
But that's the one thing, though, that like...
And one thing I love about him, he's durable. He's very, very durable.
Well,
I like the beginning of his career. Right.
But, I mean, yeah, he's 37. But what's the one thing that you never lose?
Shooting. But what you do lose at some point is the athleticism, right? I know he's not known as a super athletic guy, but he keeps himself in tip-top shape and condition. At some point, that does wear off.
Okay.
That mileage he's putting on his legs.
So last year he made, I'm going to read the last 5 years. Because 2019, 2020, he was out for most of the season. So when he came back, since he's come back, he's made 337, 285, 273, 357, 253 last year. 253 this year. So 357 last year. As long as he plays 2 more years, he will pass the
Not 5.
45. Yes, he will.
No, 45. Yes, not 5. He'll reach 5 if he
I think
plays
he's going to reach 5.
at least 4 more years.
And I think he will.
He'll be 41.
I think he will.
Okay.
I think he can.
I don't doubt that he can.
I want to see him hit 5.
Of course I want to see it.
And then call it quits.
That'd be amazing.
That would be amazing.
Until the next guy who comes in breaks it.
So fair for Steph, unfair for everybody else.
It's like Wemby said when in the end of Court of Gold, right? He's like, I'm worried about everybody. I'm worried about the next year who the guys are coming. And they're like, oh, NBA? No, everyone.
Everyone.
And that's the same story with Steph.
All right, let's go ahead and transition to, we talking about racks. We're going to talk about a lot of racks.
Oh boy.
Ooh-wee.
Cha-ching.
Yeah, we're going to go over to the NFL.
Okay.
And I'm going to start off this part of the episode where I'm going to read a tweet from Adam Schefter.
Okay.
3:14 at 11:26 a.m.
Okay.
So this numbers have probably changed since then, but not too much. It's just a day ago, right? So money matters. Entering today and since Monday, NFL teams have now signed players to $4.88 billion in player compensation, including $2.19 billion guaranteed at signing. The $4.88 billion includes, quote, likely to be earned compensation, not to the max value for incentives that are not deemed likely. So that could even go higher than that. Let's just take a deep breath and reflect on $4.88 billion in total money spent in like a week and a half, maybe. 2.19 guaranteed. No matter what, that money's coming out. Better open your little purse strings because that money's coming out. Let's just reflect on that money. How does it make you feel?
I feel like if the NFL players got together, not even just these guys, just as a unit together, they can change just by themselves the GDP of a small country and feed a lot of hungry people and provide a lot of resources to those folks. Because that's a hell of a lot of money for even one person or a group of people to amass. Not to say that you don't deserve it, but holy shit, right? How much was one need? Good for you.
Well, I mean, it's not one person. It's
no,
like,
I know that, but
like still,
correct. Like it's a lot. But
how much do these? You think about it, right? There's only 32 owners.
Right.
Between 32 owners,
they can change the GDP.
4.88 billion.
Crazy, man. Tells you, man. It's rich man's game.
It is definitely a rich man's game. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So now that we've reflected on that, let's start with the big buck Bengals.
Okay.
Hasn't happened yet.
The Jamar thing?
But according to Adam, Bengals are working on contracts for both Jamar and T. Higgins. And they're working on it expeditiously to lock up both guys for Joey B.
You know, here's my question. Because last year, a similar conversation had surfaced about them trying with Jamar. And there was, a little bit of rift in between, but they landed on a little something. If this is your guy and you're working expeditiously, how come it has not expeditiously happened yet? And still we're talking about it.
So I would say this. Likely, and this is just my pure speculation, likely it has to do with the fact that you have to take contracts. You can't look at them individually. You have to take it in the context of the whole roster that you're building and knowing how much money you dole out in 1 year versus how do you spread it out over other years? How do you convert other guarantees to free up money and da-da-da? I think that it's likely that they're wanting to wait another year so that they could do something where maybe we front load it here so we can have it smaller on the downside so we can continue to build the team.
Here's my question. If you know this is the guy we want and this guy makes or breaks as far as our offense is concerned as a target and the production this man has put up, that shouldn't really be a fact. But we know we want him and we're going to do whatever it takes to get him.
No, you're thinking too fan-like. You got to think business-like because...
All right, well, you know what? What if he walks away?
But he can't. That's the thing, right? Number one, he's still under contract.
Okay.
Right? And number two, even if he gets to that, then that's when you can slap the franchise tag. Up to 2 years of the franchise tag.
Now you have a disgruntled employee.
Yeah, but you know what? They say that, and I think we've talked way back in the archives about the franchise tag. But like, there's also been plenty of examples of players who get the tag who end up getting the contract that they need anyway. So good, bad, or indifferent, it could work out either way.
When you play with
but
fire,
I'm not saying that
burnt.
they will, right? He's in the last year. I think he's in the last year of his contract, right? Okay, we will make sure that something gets done now. That's okay. Versus last year, because it it may have jacked up our whole cap situation to where, because the one thing that my thoughts are, this is not even about money. My thoughts are, okay, we're going to lock these guys up. That's great, right? You got Chase Brown, up and coming running back. You got Jamar T, you lock him in. Joey's locked in. Your offense is good, but your offense was good last year too. And what happened? You couldn't win games or enough games to make the playoffs because you didn't have enough resources on defense. And oh, by the way, one of your best defensive linemen retired, and the other one is on the trade block, potentially to Atlanta. I'd be happy. But what are you going to do defensively? So again, going back to how they structure the deals, maybe they're able to structure it where it's more money on the back end, and that could free up to get defensive help now, so we can lock in our guys and lock in our defense. There's a lot.
I'm sure. Yes,
there's art to it, but I'm just saying I don't believe Jamar's going anywhere. That's number one. Jamar is not going anywhere.
Okay.
I'm a little surprised if they also working to extend T, because I thought T would just get the franchise tag and be, after 1 year, probably be out and go be a number one somewhere else.
I think they have a lot of potential, and them two working in tandem together opens up a lot of,
no doubt.
So I think it's good what they're doing, but like you said, maybe obviously there's a lot of layers and workings to make this happen. But
you're also having to pay two like number one receivers. I mean, obviously T's not going to get as much as Jamar, but he's not your average number two receiver.
Correct.
He is not even close.
Correct.
So they're going to have to pay. That's a lot of money to have locked up in the receiver position.
So now to ask the question to Jamar and T, knowing that we need help on defense, are they willing to?
That's a great question. We can't answer that question.
They have to.
So we're going to have to see, but we might have some big buck Bengals here shortly. We're just waiting for the tweet from Adam to drop. Right. So, all right, on to other news. I'm going to bring in one of your old favorites that you used to like to throw on me, the Falcons frenzy.
Oh.
So first, this one was more recent. I'm going to go backwards. Will he stay or will he go? Kirk Cousins edition. Okay. So Kirk Cousins requested and got a meeting with Falcons owner Arthur Blank. He said that he would love to go and be a starting quarterback on another team. There are teams with openings at that point in time. Some of those have closed. There are teams with openings, quarterback openings, QB needy teams. Be looking for a good starter where some of the contract is paid for by the other team. Yeah. So that was good news for me, right? Because I'm like, oh, well, that means he's willing to waive his no trade clause to get to a situation. I think it was earlier today, or was it yes? No, I think it was earlier today. I saw
4 o'clock.
Was it 4 o'clock when you saw it?
No, that's the deadline. They were gonna hold until 4 o'clock.
Yeah. So it was earlier today. Yeah. So I did see it after the 4 o'clock deadline. I was here with you. That's funny. They're holding on to him. Past the 4 o'clock deadline, which doesn't mean they're not going to trade him.
Right.
It just means that if we do, we are on the hook to pay him an additional $10 million next year.
So what they should do is have Kirk Cousins and the Hawks and say finessed.
The Hawks or the Falcons?
I'm sorry, Hawks. Atlanta.
They all get finessed. Or finessed.
They all get finessed.
No, you should say fleeced.
Fleeced.
There you go.
Like this man basically came in and said, thank you for that blank check.
Oh,
no pun intended.
No doubt. No doubt.
So damn.
No doubt.
Sorry, bro.
I'm okay, actually.
Are you?
Because you know what? We still got a young team. We have a young roster, on a lot of rookie contracts, and we got potential with our quarterback. I actually think having Kurt there would be detrimental.
Okay.
So I hope, and there's one particular spot I think that would be good, but I don't want to talk about that yet.
Okay.
Because it will mess up with our last segment.
Okay.
So another Falcons news. It was a very sad day for me. I don't remember which day it was.
Oh, we brought tissues.
Because work was pretty bad. I have recovered now.
Okay.
But I will say...
You need a hug? You good?
I needed it that day.
Okay.
Yeah, I saw some really, really disturbing news. I had to break to Dylan. That the Falcons cut, and I'm just going to say it, Falcons legend, be a legend, Grady Jarrett. Defensive tackle, Grady Jarrett. And this hurt me so deeply.
It's a deep cut, huh?
It hurt me so deeply because, so first of all, this man is the son of a Falcons legend, Jesse Tuggle. Falcons. And when he was coming out, like a 5th round pick out of Clemson, nobody, like 5th round picks are so hit or miss. Right. 5th round pick, undersized defensive tackle, right? Nobody knew. This man worked his ass off. Not only worked his ass off to become a starter, worked his ass off to become a stalwart on the defensive line, to become a captain for the team, to go at 3 sacks in the Super Bowl. on Brady, that Super Bowl. We're not going to talk about. But
is it deeper than that?
No.
Okay.
But he's just such a good dude too. And like I'm not down there, but I see because I follow all the Falcon stuff and all the shit he does for the community. And like I get football's a business. We just talked about it. But like he's just a dude that like you really gotta let him go. It's not like he's a 40-something-year-old quarterback that's like flaming out or whatever. Like he's a D tackle. He's still good. Yo, y'all couldn't.
Where'd he go?
Chicago.
Oh boy.
I know. Got a good deal too.
Yeah.
Got a nice deal. And maybe that was it. Maybe it was too rich for the Falcons' blood because they gave all that money to Kirk Cousins. See, now it's going to get me mad. Now I'm going to go from being sad to mad.
And then he going to leave.
But like, no, it really was like really, really sad to see Grady go. Definitely going to miss him. Shout out to you, Grady. He signed D's thing. Like he was so cool. One of the few guys that came, him and Bijan, one of the few guys that came over.
Well, I'm sorry for
generous with his time.
I'm sorry for your loss. Should I send you another card?
You might have to. I might have to because this is almost the same. It's just actually, this is the same level, same type of thing as losing Julio. Like that was It was rough.
Well, hopefully you can find a I won't say equivalent, but at least a replacement for him.
He is irreplaceable.
Wow.
As a human being, you can replace anybody on the football field.
That's bigger.
Anybody can be replaced on the football field.
Hey, you know what they say, right? These staying loyal.
That's Falcons are working my nerves right now. Okay. All right, last on our way out, and this ain't gonna be quick because there's a lot of them. We're gonna talk about same faces and new places.
Different places.
New places.
New places. Okay.
Same faces and new places. And I'm gonna start out right out the gate, and I want you to tell me each one deep or not that deep.
Okay.
In terms of whether that particular acquisition will make that team go up in the win column or go down in the loss column.
Okay.
Or go up in the loss column. You know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I got you.
Deep or not that deep. Starting off, we talked about it last episode. He wanted out. He got his wish. DK Metcalf to the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Oh, that's deep.
Deep.
Oh, yeah. He's a totally new environment, completely new coach. Right? His first time leaving, new organization, fresh start. Let's just say a fresh start. So I think it's deep. We're in the sense that he'll come in and make an impact on that team.
Well, I think it's deep. Not only that, but also it's deep for the fact that between him and George Pickens, they got some dudes that are ready to scrap.
That's right.
At a moment's notice. I see you, Tomlin. I see what you're doing. Like, yeah, that's tough. That's tough. Yeah. Problem is, one minor problem.
Who's going to throw it?
Who's going to throw him the ball?
Yeah.
Because Russ is not signed there. And Justin Fields, who's my next one, deep or not that deep, went to the New York Jets, who dropped Aaron Rodgers like a bad habit. We talked about that, right? Justin Fields reuniting with his college wide receiver, Garrett Wilson, right? They lost Devontae. We'll get there. Talked a little bit about that last episode too. So don't know who's throwing DK and George the ball right now. The only quarterback Pittsburgh has signed is Mason Rudolph right now. But Justin Fields in New York, Aaron Glenn, new coach. Deep or not that deep?
TBD, not that deep.
Nah, it's deep.
It's the Jets, man.
Bro.
It's the Jets, bro.
It is, but let me just tell you something.
Jets are
no. Yes. But no. Let me tell you something.
Okay, please tell me.
Aaron Glenn is that dude.
Okay.
That dude. He was that dude as a player, former Jet. He has been that dude as a coach. Come from the Lions staff under that Dan Campbell.
Okay.
Like that Dan Campbell learning tree for the past couple of years and getting that taste of winning and what that culture is supposed to look like. No, if there's one person I think could turn around the Jets right now is Aaron Glenn. And then you got Justin Fields, who's proven to be effective. You get him the right protection. Now you got his old college guy. You still got what's his name? Bryce Hall, right? Or Brees Hall. Brees Hall. I was thinking about Bryce, my boy Bryce. Shout out Bryce. He gonna be a running back in the league one day. Watch. But yeah, like dude, and they still got a good defense. Don't get it twisted. Still got sauce. They still got ballers. So no, that is deep. Justin Fields to the Jets, so deep, and they don't have to spend a lot of money on him either. Deep.
JEES, as your son would say, just to end the season.
I don't think it's going to be like that.
It's the Jets.
I don't
Historically speaking.
We're going to pull this back out in November of next year. Of this year.
Please do.
Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and take it back to Pittsburgh.
Sure.
Pittsburgh picked up big play. Darius Slay defecting from the Philadelphia Eagles, traveling all the way across the state of Pennsylvania.
Basically.
From one side to the other.
Correct.
Going out to Western Pennsylvania.
Hey, there's
my
that.
old
there
stopping grounds. There, yeah. He's big. He's gonna be a Yinzer.
Hey,
bad. Like what Yin's doing?
Good for him.
That's half my family right there. So no, Darius Slay in Pittsburgh. So you already got Joey Porter Jr., the other corner slot, right? Promising player. His dad was a lifelong Steeler. Then you got big play Slay on the other side. Minka Fitzpatrick at safety. Tomlin, I see you, bro. You just need to get a quarterback.
Basically.
Big play Slay. So deep or not that deep? I'm saying deep.
Oh, deep. For sure, deep. Listen, man, you took a player who was on the championship team, a key player.
Yeah.
And you sent him.
Got him.
What's Philly doing?
Got him.
So, hey, good for you, Darius.
Good for him. Speaking of teams that want to get to championship, the Buffalo Bills signed guy we talked about last week, Joey Bosa.
Okay.
They lost Von Miller.
Yep.
They got Joey Bosa.
Yeah. Hey.
Deep.
Of course, deep.
Deep.
You filled the spot with the appropriate.
With probably like, because I think Von's a little older.
Yep.
Right? So now you got a
younger player. Yeah, no, that's deep.
And there's just, bro, I'm just going to say so. There's a lot of great DNs. And they come in all shapes and sizes and molds and ethnicities. I'm just going to say there's something about the white DNs. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, there's always just these few white DNs that you're like, wow. Like TJ Watt, Joey Bosa, or who else am I thinking about? Like, I don't want to say Joey's brother's name, but there's just like these guys. Like, I just wish Atlanta would get one. And that Trey Hendrickson, that's who I was thinking about. That's the one that they are potentially getting from Cincinnati. Like, I don't know, man. Just feel like every team should go get at least one white defensive end to complement their pass rush. I'm just saying.
Or a DB.
No. Those are out of like those were basically extinct.
Except
for this year. Yeah. Like, but before that, no, they were extinct. But no, the white defensive end been around.
Okay.
So yeah, so for me, no, that's deep. That's actually a really good chess piece.
Absolutely.
On the real, we joking around and having fun, but Joey Bosa and Buffalo's tough.
Oh, for real.
Tough.
Very tough.
Tough. So that's deep. I know what you're going to say to this one already, so I'm just going to go and do it. It says, while I'm on defensive ends, there was another defensive end who played and won a Super Bowl with the Rams. Leonard Floyd played for Raheem Morris. Now has found his way to Atlanta to continue to play for Raheem Morris. And oh, by the way, Leonard Floyd was a standout star, first round pick out of the University of Georgia, right down the road. Right, Leonard Floyd comes home, comes to Atlanta. I already know you're gonna say it's not that deep, so just go ahead, put it out there officially. Yeah, see, I already knew what you're gonna do.
Next,
it's fine. No, it's deep. It's definitely deep. Falcons need some life in their pass rush, and we got it.
Falcons need some life. Period. Life. Stop the sentence
in their pass rush. To wrap up a couple of other defensive ends, Josh Sweat, right, caused havoc in the Super Bowl, right?
Yes.
Left Philly, going to Arizona under his former coach, Cannon. Deep or not that deep?
Hey, man, that's
Arizona or Philly.
It's deep both ways, man. Like, you're losing a key figure who helped you win a ring.
Yeah.
Like, what are y'all doing? That's my question. What are they doing?
Well, they had to make room to pay for Saquon, bro.
I guess you get what you pay for. I guess Saquon's going to get whatever it is. It's deep both ways. They lost a key piece. They gained a key piece. Good for Josh Sweat.
Agreed. All right, last one. We have Jonathan Allen, right? Defensive tackle, was with the Commanders. He's been a beast too. Former first round pick. Left the Commanders. Is headed on his way to Minnesota. You care? Deep or not that deep? I think it's a good. Minnesota already had a pretty tough defense. And so you add another disruptor on their line. I think it's going to be deep. So let me get to some more interesting names. So we talked about Devontae Adams. Well, Devontae did find, he got cut. He found a home pretty quickly.
Okay.
Actually, do you know where he went?
No.
He went to the LA Rams.
Oh, is this a swap?
Stop. Don't get ahead of yourself. He went to the LA Rams.
Okay.
Deep or not that deep?
TBD. Correct. You know why I say that? Because every team he's gone on so far, it's been a very short-lived season.
That Matt Stafford, though.
Again, I would like to see how it pans out. He had Derek Carr. He had Aaron Rodgers. That's great. It's cute. But now show some sustained performance.
Derek Carr, don't listen. First of all, don't ever put Derek Carr and Matthew Stafford in the same sentence like you're comparing them.
Aaron Rodgers?
And that's no disrespect. Hold on. I'm going to address that too.
Okay.
And that's no disrespect to Derek Carr.
Wow.
Right? He did what he did. He made the league. He's a good football player. He is not Matt Stafford. Matt Stafford is a Hall of Famer.
Okay.
In waiting.
Okay.
Derek Carr is not. And that's okay. Not everybody is.
Okay.
Don't ever disrespect him like that. Second of all, and also, he's from UGA too. So I got the love there. But second of all, while they might still be a couple years apart, don't ever compare the broken down Aaron Rodgers to the gunslinger that still is Matthew Stafford.
Okay.
They are not the same.
They're not the same.
They are not the same.
Okay.
Devontae, you're listening by any chance? It was him. I'm with you.
Listen, I'm a Devontae fan. I want to see him succeed.
I think it's DEEP, all caps, deep.
Okay.
Him and Puka together and Cooper Kupp. Oh
no.
Oh, except on my next list, Cooper Kupp. It was not a secret. I'm just being funny, but it wasn't a secret. Everybody knew. I mean, even Sean McVay did an interview like a week ago, and he was talking about how basically like, Cooper Kupp's days are numbered in LA, right? And it wasn't because they didn't want to keep him, but so everybody knew that. So Devontae obviously is the swap that you try to get ahead of me. I'm the captain now.
Sorry,
but yeah, Devontae and Puka with Kyron and Stafford, bro. That's it's gonna be another lethal.
I hope it works out for him.
And with all of the losses that San Fran has taken, and Seattle rebuilding, and Arizona being Arizona, like the Rams can literally stay at the top of this division.
Okay.
Easy. And they're going to have a killer offense. So let's go ahead and switch. Cooper Kupp took a couple, free agent visits. There was some interest. Cowboys tried to jump in there. Saints tried to jump in there. But let's be real. Like once Seattle came and it came correct, it was a wrap because you play high school in Washington, played college at the University of Washington or Eastern Washington, wherever he played, Eastern Washington, not University of Washington, Eastern Washington. Like he's going home. He's going home. The Pacific Northwest is his home. And he gets the added benefit that he gets to play the Rams twice a year and stay in the division.
I don't know if that's a benefit when you're going to take L's. However.
Wow. So you're saying not that deep?
I'm saying it's deep. The nostalgia of going home is deep, especially for the player who's going home. So I don't know if it's a good thing that he's going to play his former team twice because that team is stacked and jacked versus the rebuilding Seahawks in that sense. But he gets to go home, be closer to family, be closer. They can all come watch him a little bit more frequently now. So good for him. That's what I'll say.
Well, I think it's extremely deep. You pair him with JSN, he was a first round pick a couple years ago because Lockett's out, DK's out, it's a new day. And then got rid of Geno, who's going to throw them the ball. So then you go ahead and you sign, man, what a come up. Sam Darnold had that crazy good year in Minnesota.
The resurrection of Sam Darnold.
Signs with Seattle. So he parlays that season into a 3-year, $100 million with 55 guaranteed.
Good for him.
I mean, it's not Kirk Cousins numbers, but good for him. When you're talking about somebody who
you might get more out of him though than Kirk Cousins,
bro. Like you got to understand though. Like there was a point where Sam Darnold was a top pick, like not number one overall, but a top pick.
Yeah, and
like people thought he was gonna be a guy, and then it became after a few years Jets and some other places like oh. Okay, maybe he's not. He's just gonna be a career backup or flame out of the league, and he comes around to Minnesota and just kills it. And now parlay. So now the true test, and I think his former offensive coordinator or somebody is now over there in Seattle too. So he gets to reunite. He got some weapons. He's got Kenneth Walker at running back. He's got Charbonnet as the second running back. He's got Noah Fant at tight end, who was decent. And then you add JSN with Cooper Kupp. And then defensively, they added some pieces, which we're going to talk about next. When I said Seattle was rebuilding, I just didn't want to get ahead of myself. They were rebuilding fast.
Okay.
And they still may be a contender. So he might enjoy playing them. Cooper might enjoy playing them twice a year because he might be able to get his revenge twice a year. But Seattle might be just as good.
You think so? Okay, we'll see. You just told me don't compare anybody with Matt Stafford, and here you are, Sam Darnold with Matt Stafford.
I said Seattle.
Sure.
Yeah, I said Seattle as a whole. But I wouldn't say that Sam Darnold was going to be better than Matt Stafford.
Okay.
But that's also because Seattle already had a tough defense. I think Seattle had a better defense than the Rams. And they went ahead and they added from the Cowboys an ceremonious exit. DeMarcus Lawrence, that's tough.
That is tough.
That's deep.
That is very deep.
Oh, wait. Sam Darnold, deep or not that deep?
Oh, deep.
That's deep.
That's deep. Yeah, for sure.
They need somebody.
Yeah.
Okay. So DeMarcus Lawrence, again, for me, it's deep both ways. It's deep for the Cowboys losing him. It's also deep for Seattle getting him. But I know you had some thoughts on how he went out and the things that he said and shared, and also the little beef that he had with a former teammate. So, sir, I want to give you the floor to speak on it a little bit. So do you want me to get the context first?
Sure.
So the context was that DeMarcus basically was interviewed about his exit, and he was like, Dallas is my home. It's always going to be my home, but I know I can't win a Super Bowl there. I honestly don't think that that's an outlandish thing to say. Dallas hasn't even been to a championship game in like 30 plus years, basically since I was a baby. I mean, it's real. Let's be real, right? Wow. And it's always a big talk about Dallas this, Dallas that, but they never do anything really. So to me, it wasn't that much of an outlandish thing to say. But his former teammate, and I guess he would have been in the same meeting rooms, right? Micah Parsons, right? Linebacker, edge rusher, defensive end, did not like it. So, sir.
It was just basically two employees with, a difference of opinion, and
two employees.
They decided.
That's a good way to put it.
I mean, they decided to, I guess, spat their feud publicly versus in front of each other. They did it over social media, like I guess nowadays.
Keyboard warriors.
Grown men would. I'm not sure.
Is that what we do in 2025?
Apparently, it seems like it.
Well, we talked about the last week with Stephen A. and LeBron, how refreshing it was to air your grievances in person.
Correct. So that was a little weird, but again, I don't think anything he said was, like you said, out of pocket. I think he spoke facts, as the kids would say, right? Big facts. You're upset because it's your team. You should be, right? You should be. You're on that team. A former employee leaves and talks bad about your company. You can have a little bit of a riff with him. I get it. But his closing statement, I think he talked about like how this is like a clown behavior and clown-ish type stuff. And then DeMarcus just said, if you did less tweeting and more winning, I wouldn't have left. I was like, well, that's a good mic drop moment.
That is.
That's a great mic drop moment. And I haven't seen anything beyond that point. But it was just like, man, y'all football players, man, you're supposed to be like rough and tough and all that. Like, you're getting sensitive over kind of like men. Pick up the phone, FaceTime him, meet each other, work it out.
Meanwhile, I don't know why Mike is getting in his feelings when he'd been on the trade block. But anyway, let's run through a few more and get this wrapped up. Right. So this was just interesting because Mac Jones, former first round pick, quarterback, went to New England, got canned there, Jacksonville for a year. Now is going to San Fran. And I only bring it up because they still have yet to extend Brock Purdy. And San Fran was rumored to have wanted Mac Jones.
Okay.
So, is Mac Jones going to take his job? Deep or not that deep?
Listen, if Brock Purdy loses his starting position, that is DEEEEEEEP for Mac Jones.
As long as it's not by injury.
Correct. Who has not proven anything, whereas Brock has.
Yeah.
So, I'm sorry. No. I'm in Mac. Be my secondary, and let's just keep it there.
Can you imagine? Can you understand that the 7th round Mr. Irrelevant is starting, and then the top 10 pick is backing him up?
Track record.
No, that's absolutely.
Resume.
So speaking of track records and resumes, D-Hop lands in Baltimore. D-Hop finds his way over with Lamar, with
King Henry,
Zay Flowers, with King Henry, and an already great team just becomes that much greater. Now I understand, or y'all jump in the comments, that this is not our mama's D-Hop, but this man is not washed either.
Correct.
No way do I believe that he's washed.
No, I think good for Baltimore, man. Good for Baltimore.
It's deep.
Good for D-Hop.
Deep.
Right, landing in a good situation. It's very deep.
Deep.
And I hope that it works out for that team. But I love it that we're in the area and you got the Commanders and the Ravens both as top teams, bro.
That'd be crazy. But there's a picture D-Hop tweeted years ago, and it's a real young D-Hop with Lamar and Derrick Henry. They're all on different teams.
Okay.
Talking about, wonder what this trio would look like or something. I don't know. We'll pop the graphic up.
Right.
Now we get to find out.
Yeah, except that a lot later in their careers, but still.
But they all have something left in the tank.
Of course.
So that's all that really matters. All right. Very deep. Mike Williams went to the Jets and spent his career at the Chargers, went to the purgatory that was the Jets last year. And he said, "Oh, I'm so sorry. Please let me come back. Please let me come back home." And he returns to the Chargers.
Okay.
Deep or not that deep?
So, like I said earlier about the Jets, case in point, I think it's refreshing.
It's deep.
Of course it's deep.
Because they need another receiver.
No, it's
Herbert.
Of course it's deep.
Yeah.
But it's good that he made a U-turn and said, yo, pump the brakes. What is, not the purgatory that was, the purgatory that is.
It was. Because we talk about it. Well, we're going to fight about that one. But, it's very, very deep.
Yeah.
And then you get him, help mentor Quentin Johnson, and hopefully they can get that thing rolling. Because Harbaugh's a good coach. He had them playing well last year with limited resources. So Mike Will back is a big one. And then also, as we're staying on the Chargers, Jim Harbaugh. Wrong Harbaugh, brother. Jim got another toy. The one thing that Jim likes to do, he likes to run the ball. Run the ball, tough, hard running, tough defense. Well, picked up former Alabama running back, former Pittsburgh Steeler running back, Najee Harris. A hard, tough, hard-hitting runner.
Okay.
To go in that backfield. So now you got him, you got Quinn, you got Mike Will, Herbert. It's a squad. They got a squad.
They're putting themselves to
They got a squad
together.
They got a squad.
Well, we shall see what
To me,
happens.
that's deep.
Okay.
That's actually a big loss for Pittsburgh, in my opinion. I know Pittsburgh's got Jalen Warren. I guess they must think that he could be the guy, the 3 down. But man, Najee had a good year last year. But him in the powder blue, that's gonna be a squad. Like, look out for the Chargers. I think to me, it was one of the more underrated moves.
Okay.
Free agency.
Well, we'll find out. Time will tell.
Time will tell. Speaking of other running backs and other places, AJ Dillon backed up for the Packers. Big boy. Big boy. Or the Philly.
Okay.
Philly to be Saquon's backup. So imagine you get a steady dose of Saquon. And then when they used to bring in Kenneth Gainwell, who was like half the size of Saquon, now they're bringing in somebody who's bigger
than Saquon. It's gonna be a rough day that day.
It's gonna be a rough day trying to tackle Eagle running backs.
If you're a D line, or a middle
linebacker, or God forbid a corner or a safety, you better get run over.
Don't go out that day. Got a good night's sleep.
Like Saquon might jump over you backwards. Right. He might spin around you. AJ Dillon is going to run through you. So to me, that one was pretty deep. When you ask what Philly's doing, may not know in some places, but I'll tell you what, the way that they're going to be able to run the ball down people's throats. And oh, by the way, you still have Dallas Goedert. You still have AJ Brown. You still have Devontae Smith. Like, offensively,
it's the defense though. They're getting rid of their defense.
But even that, they still got so many young pieces from all the UGA squad.
What?
I don't think Philly's going to be as bad as it seems like. They're losing some stuff, but I think that they still got a draft. You got a first round pick. You have time to fill those holes.
Okay.
And then last, 2 more for you. Talked about Evan Ingram. I know your boy Evan Ingram from Fantasy, right? Left the Jags. He used to be with the Giants.
Yep.
Left the Jags. Now went to the Jags. Left the Jags. Now he's showing up in Denver. And I don't really care or know whether it's gonna be deep or not that deep. I just wanted to bring it up. But a simple fact that is deep to me. Why? Because when D and I did the TikTok video where we were talking about building the teams, right? I got stuck with Denver's tight end. And as much football as I watch, I couldn't even remember who he was. It was Adam Troutman. Like, I had to go look it up first. I was like, I'm just blanking on who their tight end is. Now they got Evan Ingram. They're already doing well offensively. Bo was having a good season. So to me, it was deep because they finally got a tight end who at least we can remember.
Okay. Well.
Yeah. And then the last one is not a same face in new places and probably is completely went under the radar of a lot of people, especially if you're a casual. But they cut him and then he re-signed with them a few days later. And that is San Francisco 49ers. They cut Kyle Juszczyk, fullback. Not a lot of teams use a fullback anymore.
Right.
But he's been a piece.
Oh, of course.
He's been a piece for them. And I got to bring him up because he is a piece, right? He's scored touchdowns. He's caught passes for them out of the backfield. And again, most teams don't have a fullback. So it was interesting. Like, it was like they cut him and I was like, what? I was like, I thought he was going to retire with Kyle Shanahan because there's no way. Where else is he going to go? And apparently, I think, was it Pittsburgh or somewhere? Somebody had some interest in him. And then all of a sudden I get these notifications like Kyle Juszczyk is re-signed with San Francisco.
What's the theory behind that? Like, why do you do
I don't
that?
know. I didn't look into it.
There's no strategic move there?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Maybe
Interesting.
Maybe it was for less money.
Is that the undo button, basically?
Maybe they were wanting to let him test the market, and the market was like, nah, we don't need a fullback. And so Kyle Shanahan was like, come on back home.
What is the Chappelle?
Or I was thinking about like the old, really old, I'm gonna show my age, Austin Powers.
Oh yeah.
With Mini-Me, like come back. But no, yeah. So to me, that's deep because him and McCaffrey work. You bring McCaffrey back healthy, right?
Yeah, that's a great duo.
And just for a little side note, because this just happened today too. Remember when McCaffrey went out and the dude Mason blew up, Jordan Mason? They just traded him to the Vikings today.
Oh boy.
So, but you know what? It don't matter. It don't matter because Kyle Shanahan has proven that no matter what, no matter who he puts in the backfield, they're capable of being a 1,000-yard rusher.
Okay.
They gonna run the ball no matter who's back there.
Okay.
They could put you back there.
And I'll be a 1,000-yard rusher.
And you'd be a 1,000-yard rusher. And so with that, this has been deep.
Okay.
We appreciate y'all for tuning in. Thank you, sir.
Hey man, it's fun.
Appreciate it. Until next week, think RBA.
Think RBA. Peace.